Okay, so I know I don't really do these lives scheduled because it's kind of hard to do, but I'm getting around. They changed my hormones at the doctors. They changed my hormone routine. So I should be able to do these lives and be able to schedule them for certain times. So people know they can count on when to be watching my lives. Oh my god, that's cool. It says make a viral video. Okay. So I was gonna look at, because my laptop's dead and I don't feel like going upstairs to get the charging cord for it. And my phone's at 3%. So we're gonna work on what we can until I can either go get the cord for my laptop to look up the houses I wanted to make or charge my phone enough. During online play, you might see chat messages or other user-generated content that may not be suitable for all ages. When digging stayed up, place a torch at your feet to break any sand or gravel. I'm not really worried. I don't do survival that often, actually. If sand or gravel falls on me in creative, I might get startled, but that's about it. In the server region, they started showing that at the bottom, where it says server region, Illinois, USA. Right now, I'm not connected to Studio on my phone because it's got 3% battery and my laptop needs to charge. So I'm unable to see comments right now, but I'm going to try to get that set up here shortly. I know I'm doing this in the middle of the night, but anybody who's casually just awake and they want to watch this, I offer you to join me. Like, watch the live, is what I mean. I am going to start making videos today. I'm going to do one of the Minecraft beach because I needed to make a couple of shorts making some Minecraft beach content. Because in the area that's called Watermelon Pier, there's like a bunch of stores. And I needed to add a bubble tea restaurant and another food truck. And then maybe a small little area of little hut-like places that are kind of almost hotel-y that people can stay in at the beach. And I might make some content on that a little bit and see what to do to liven up some more parts of the beach area. So, right now, just that 2 sides took me like a week. But things are going to start happening really quick because add-ons are a new thing. And I have an add-on where I can copy, paste, edit, select. And I can make a skyscraper like that pretty easily. Because I just copy the sides and then just rotate them. Because skyscrapers take up the most amount of time. You would think it's landscaping, but having to put all the windows and the details and make something that tall, it's a lot to do. And to make a skyscraper that looks convincing, some of them are smaller just in spots where I can put it for the illusion of more depth. But where it actually matters, they've got to be close to full size. To a degree. And this is going to be more ramps and stuff here. Goes to another freeway section that way. This is an apartment building, and this is going to be copied. And I'm going to put like another one right here. And then one that's right kind of in the kind of a little bit spaced, where it's kind of in the middle. I kind of like the design of it. Like, if I go to time, go to midnight, this makes it really pretty. Like, you can imagine having a couple of these, having another one on one side. Or maybe I just do 4, 1, 1, 1, 1. Which I'm going to make some content on doing this. If people want, I can make a video showing how I made this and just make one from scratch. But I'm going to just copy and paste them over, so it's not going to be like it's that big of a video. I know the inside doesn't really look like it has any detailing. I'm going to go through and make it look like the illusion that there's detailing. Let's turn that back to daytime. So at the train station, this, I'm not sure how I'm going to design it. I wanted to do lime green blocks like this, but I think I'm going to make it simpler with set-in lights. And just have like the blue going across with the colors, but no trellises. And this is going to be like a museum where you guys can suggest different train models. I can put them in here. There's going to be some I'm going to put already. Like I want to put an old Baltimore, Ohio, like the big old steam locomotives, the ones that they used for pulling coal, put them like diesel turbine, and they'll have little plaques that talk about them and be in their own little miniature scenes that depict, where you would have found the locomotives before. And there's a cute little area that I just snuck in that's just made all out of wool. Because I like giving updates on what I'm doing in my Minecraft world. It might look empty, but there's more stuff off that direction and that direction. I make sections of stuff and then I just kind of fill them in the middle. That's more realistic than having everything be exact districts. Oh, you got an exact downtown. This is this neighborhood area. This is the shops area. Cities don't necessarily work that way. In the city I live in, specifically in Michigan, there's neighborhood, there's some shops with a couple houses in between. Then there's a whole, like, big old shop area. Then there's houses nearby with a couple of shops on occasion. And this wouldn't be a bad area once I get this more finished to make some small videos showing me making some models of some freight cars or something. Something that may not be as interesting as watching somebody's SMP server, but it's bingeable. And I guess I don't give myself enough credit and care enough about myself that I want to say, hey, I'll let myself down. But I'm not going to. So this road goes out here to the zoo. There's an apple orchard that is owned by the zoo that's going to have like a nice farmhouse and a big old factory that you can walk through. It has like a walking area with signs everywhere. Then there's the actual zoo. This is just temporary. I'm gonna keep the purple part, this dark purple, with the gates, but then everything else is gonna have to change. And I'm not sure what to change it to. While we're at it, let's check on the chart. Dice. This has been around as much since I turned it on easy mode and turned mob spawning off. He's actually swimming around a little. But then he'll come back and spin around there just a little and then swim around some. Before, when I didn't have the settings changed, he just stood right here and just spun around intensely, and that's all he did. Because he was trying to get the crabs to eat them. No, not my pretty soft-shell crabs. And they haven't despawned either, which I'm happy about. Now, of course, naturally, more animals spawning isn't going to happen, but if I place an animal, I don't think it's going to go away necessarily. So I'm happy I didn't have to tag them, yellow crab, orange crab, brown crab. I mean, I could. But what's the point of that? Got parts of the bayou, which I'm going to make some calming videos so you can just binge of just filmed nature. Like almost like nature cams. I got more details I could add over there. I could add more block palettes over here. This is my favorite part, like my second favorite part of the bayou area. Because you can just like watch the sunset. You down here and watch the sunrise, and you get the nice trees, the nice depth of everything. Mm. I just thought, why not add that? My voice is kind of dehydrated and struggling right now. There's a bunch of like this grass, this medium wild grass crops and farms. My number one favorite part is the Bayou Look one. You go through this gate, which I'm not going to open it. The sun has wording, it's just on the other side. Because you can double word the signs now, which is kind of weird. I mean, I could see some uses for it. And there's Gator 1, who kind of just does his own thing around this little area. Sometimes he'll be in that little creek that's there that connects to the wetland, but he never goes off into the wetland completely. Yeah, I'm looking at you. He knows I'm talking about him. He definitely knows what I'm talking about. But it's really lively. You can see a lot of stuff. I can feel stomach acid going into my throat, and it makes me feel like I'm going to be nauseous. All of this has a hard time loading. I'm not sure why recently. It wasn't like this before. But I like going through and just making sure that loads so it's not so hard in my world trying to make stuff in a partially loaded world. But I'm not going all the way out to where the mall is. And there's a small train yard. Because that would take up too much time to go all the way out there. There's a big long freeway that I have to travel along. And I guess I could get in a car and that would be quicker. Also, I've been needing to load in some. I've also been needing to make some shorts where it's got like gangster sounding like street racing music, and it's just me building some awesome cars in Minecraft. You know, like some big old motors sticking up, you know, big old nice different color palettes. This is my footbridge. I like how it turned out. It's not tall enough for intermodal trains, but no intermodal trains use these tracks. Because I'd have to raise it by a block. But it's just big enough for like steam locomotives, diesel locomotives, passenger trains, and, medium freight trains. I'm confident I can make like a high box car or like a huge hopper car and it would fit underneath there easily. This is gonna keep going. This crosses where the bayou is, which I haven't added the details to yet. I haven't found the time. Because, in life, you're like, where's the time going? Then this will go out here and kind of just turn and go that way. A little. Then from this exits on the other side of the train tracks, it's going to turn and go that way, which is towards the end of the zoo. Will there be some exhibits? There's some skyscrapers being worked on that way, and the bayou will open back up to have neighborhoods surrounding it. With some depth, where I'll have to raise the land so that the bayou has some depth, so it's down lower. With nice manicured grass and some thin, medium trees. But when you're in the bayou itself, it looks very thick. Even though I'm living in Michigan, I'm from Louisiana, and it's a long story about that, which I'm gonna get into at a different time. If I'm speaking weird, my body's just ugh. I want ice cream so badly. I know it's gonna hurt my throat. There's this local brand that starts with an H or something. It's like a Michigan brand. I can't remember the name of it because it's been a while. But they make like this ice cream that's called peanut butter waffle cup, and it is just, oh my god. When I lived at my older apartment, when I lived there, because, I moved into the 4-bedroom, when I lived at the 2-bedroom apartment, I had a roommate who walked in one day and saw me finish 2 1-pint things of peanut butter waffle cup ice cream in just an hour and a half. I just ate them like they were nothing. And he said, I've never seen anybody who eats ice cream like that, as if it's nothing. And then he smiled, giggled a little, and went off in his room. And I was like, well, I exercise, I walk around, I bicycle, I go to the gym, I make dance content enough that if I eat like 1 pound of ice cream, it's not going to be fat in my body because it's like not really that common of a thing. It's like a once in a year thing that I'm just craving it one day because of my hormones. And I'm just like, that sounds delicious. I also have a video I'm editing that I'm not sure if I'm going to use the stock audio or if I'm just going to record my voiceover and just redo what I want to say. Where it actually shows how I made the locomotive. This is my first steam locomotive I've ever made. It's the Union Pacific Challenger with these little side flares. I think it looks much nicer in the night time, which is like the evening. And I think it turned out amazing. I was worried that the side piston rods were going to look weird, but I kind of had to finicky with them a little, but they look perfect. This locomotive's not going to stay here. I'm going to move it using copy command, not copy command, using the add-on where I can select this and copy and move it. I'm not sure if I'll have to move it in 2 sections, but there's going to be an area, possibly down below, or maybe in a giant train museum, or a big warehouse-looking building where I can store all the chains and stuff that I make, so I can use them for making shorts. Or I can use them for making, like, photos for Instagram. To have different freight cars, different trains, and different scenes. Something you can just binge through when you're bored. That'll make you smile. Because I saw a model train of this, and then saw, like, some photos of this, and I was like, haha, yeah, boy. And then I was like, I have to model it as my first steam locomotive. I've modeled diesel locomotives, those are pretty easy. But, like, it's so nice to know that my steam locomotive turned out well. Yes, it might not be exactly like the original. The tenders are a bit different. You know, some of the details are slightly bit different because I gotta translate it to Minecraft, but I think it works. I didn't put a fire pit or anything here. I might do that at some point, but I just have a light, and I think that works for now. All you see is field everywhere, because I like showing people in my lives when I first start them, you know, what's been updated, and showing people, reminding them, hey, this is what I have done in the area. There's all these trees kind of to mark where the fence line might be, for this biome area. Of course, there's all the mountains with the snow. And there's like a bunch of snow, and it snows a lot here. And you kind of get to have like a snowy kind of like way of being in the zoo. Because it's like a snowy peaks, the only area out of one other that's also snowy peaks. That's on the other side of this. And then on the other side of that, there's one tiny, like smaller snowy peaks, and that's it for hundreds of miles. With not really any snow. Like a little pond with some spikes. And you can see animals on occasion, like little rabbits, you know, a fox on occasion. They would just roam through the yard, through the area. Even though they really don't anymore, because they had to turn mob spawning off. But then there's this little like igloo that's made out of like some snow, some, if I can think, some wool. Oh! No, stop it! No! Seriously, they made a source block out of that? That's so stupid. They made a source block out of that? That's so stupid. Oh, because I used pale oak instead. It's just because it's evening time, it's hard to tell. Because it looks like an offset light, very light pink. I think this is pretty. You just stand on the porch, or you can sit and just watch the snow come through. And because of the trees and stuff, it feels like there should be more snow land. You don't really realize that once you exit through the trees, that you're back to land that doesn't have snow. So you really get that snow experience because it feels like it. Come in here, there's like a little workshop. Ding ding. like a little cooking area, which I had to mess with this for like a couple hours to get it designed just right that it would fit everything. So I know it looks kind of ghetto, like a little table, TV, because you gotta keep yourself entertained. And there's like a dresser area. Polished blackstone, and a lead. And there's like a little bed behind the couch, which is super cozy, super cute. And I'm literally stuck in here. Okay. So then you can see from here, you can see just how massive the field is. You can see like the pedestrian bridge. You can see the steam locomotive. Even though it's not going to be there for long. Some of the details are letting, some of them weren't. So then we go this way. I know this isn't the content, but I'm getting to what I'm doing. Go here, go through here, and there's going to be little exhibit areas for some snowy animals that need the colder climate constantly. And the higher elevation will give them that colder climate. I'm not sure what I could put. Some penguins, maybe like a snow leopard. I think it'd be cool to just put some polar bears in these small little enclosures. So once I kind of surround the area with fencing, I can put some polar bears that just kind of roam at the peaks, even though I feel like that's also cruel to have them stuck on the mountainside, worried if they're going to fall off to their doom. Some trellises, because I can grow something that's like snowy. Come up here and you can just kind of relax, sit, take a bit off. Then this goes to the cherry blossom park that has some cherry blossom trails. It's going to be like a big pond surrounded by cherry blossom petals. Then some more hills and cherry blossom trails with cherry blossom trees and places to sit that connect to here, and that connects back over to city. Okay, so over here, it's probably gonna load weird for a second, but there's more fields because I like the open space. One, for making content, two, for it feeling like you're in the plains, which you need to have a lot of open space. If you move at all, you don't just start seeing shapes of trees in the distance. Like that, like ruins the illusion. But there's like a turntable, which I'm doing my best to try to make. That'll have like some tracks there, one track there, one track there, and then kind of that, but on the other side as well. Don't necessarily be that big of a turntable. And there's also a little park here. That you can kind of just, there's going to be some trails you can kind of just sit and enjoy. And this opens up to a gigantic rail yard, which is where you exit the zoo. And there's going to be a ton of skyscrapers and ultra like downtown kind of vibe. I've already got some train tracks that are going. And it's also a place where it wouldn't be bad to make models of trains. Make just multiple mixed freight cars. Make multiple locomotives. Okay. So now we have to go find. We gotta get out of the zoo. Because I'm not sure there's an area that I was thinking of using for this project where I'm gonna have like 2 trucks, a railroad crossing, nice neighborhood with some big houses. Then there's going to be a truck that spurs off that's Halloween truck that goes to Halloween Town, which is like a whole entire suburb that's Halloween themed with businesses and stuff, some mucky wetland, and it's gonna look amazing. Now I'm not sure how I'm gonna spookify the tracks. I thought about using warped wood and crimson wood, but I'm not sure that would be the best option. I'm not gonna use the purple tiling because that's just gonna look dumb. But here in a second, we'll find a spot and we'll kind of experiment a little. Because in Minecraft, experimentation is the best kind of experiment. It helps you to know what you like to build, how you want to build something. And also, that's going to be a high-speed train, and these tracks will be electrified. And there'll be a locomotive kind of like this on the opposite side. And there'll be 3 of these passenger cars and a locomotive. But the passenger car in the middle is going to be like a little cafe car. And everything's got these unique looks to it of these bright colors, which I thought was unique. But oh my god, that hurts my eyes. Good lord. If we go over here, I want to show something real quick. Just so you know the scale of everything. Is if I go over here and I kind of just, because there's like an angle that shows it best. I think over here by this little recycling area, where the tracks are turned and some more electric lines that need to be put down. That if I just wait and look right here, it looks big. Like, then they go all the way over here. The hospital that I've neglected to finish building. I only put 1 interior, and I'm not sure I'm going to keep that interior. If I go over here, and you just look from over here at the, this is a separate train station that's just for regional trains. But if I park right here, you can see just how massive that is, how much space it takes up. That's just as big as my Minecraft mall that I'm working on. And that's saying something. And I'm sorry if I say my this, my that. I don't know how to explain things because I am a little bit autistic. I made a model of Salty from Thomas the Tank Engine if it was in real life. Which I thought it would have turned out pretty decent. Doesn't really have an interior, but it wouldn't be hard to just go through and add like a seat and a little control. Just with the idea that there's something in there. And that sheep's not supposed to spawn. What are you doing? I gotta finish this building. It almost looks like something you would see by a university or something. Like an apartment building, neat little building down depth. And kind of just finish getting that done. There's a park over here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to change like what this is. Cause I haven't really worked on making a park with like playground. It is kind of neat. Grocery store that I gotta finish that has some office buildings on top. That looks really cool so far. As soon as I come out with these empty shelves, I was like, ooh, I can actually make shelves in like gas stations and grocery stores and convenience stores. And I immediately rushed to change everything from being bookshelves to these empty shelves. And I was like, ooh, I was so excited. I'm like, oh. Even though I wish they were the shelf print on both sides, so I can make the shelves more realistic scale instead of having to like face two blocks beside each other. That apartment building's gotta be finished. Then I thought about adding another one somewhere. I'm not sure where. I thought about maybe trying to squeeze one here. And then just have a pathway connecting the two with a little pool. But I gotta leave the trees as depth for this little village. Which near this, it's near big areas of the city. You'll find what are essentially villages. And it has a train station. And the train station, I'm very proud of it because I feel like I made it very well. And it fits into the world very nicely. Especially in the Cadia village. And it's not super detailed, but neither are these buildings. They're just unique enough that it gives the idea, hey, there's depth to this. You go on. Oh my god. I hate and love the Cadia doors. I like that they look simple, but they also look like gel doors. This big machine thing, I'm not sure what it is, but I just kind of leave it. I'm like, you know? Because it was before add-ons came. It was before add-ons came. Oh, my voice is so dehydrated. I'm gonna eat ice cream later. Ult. Ult right there. Oh, did you see that, mate? What a big snail idea. Then you gotta sit, wait for your train. Da, da. Then you're kind of just waiting for the train. The tracks actually turn right before here. I mean, right after here. So it won't quite go that far down. But I'll have like a little track that stops a little bit. And model like a little passenger car that's all Australian. No, sorry, that's all African looking. That's sitting on its own little side track. by itself. Whoa. Who are you? Who? Who are you? Okay? Fine. Standard car salesman. Would you like to buy a car? I'd like you to get off of my railroad and go walk to somewhere else. Okay, so this is what I was thinking. This is what I was thinking. Is here there's all this area that leads to mountains. And there's also the hospital area. But the train tracks kind of just connect to here. I mean, the parking lot would need to be much bigger. Like, that'd be like, it'll extend to like right here. The thing is that I can't really change these mountains because it goes right to this sunflower valley that's nothing but sunflower farms and a giant sunflower factory that makes like sunflower oil and sunflower seeds and other sunflower snacks and sunflower stuff. So I thought about maybe doing the Halloween area here, but I realized there's not enough room. I really love the depth that there is in this world, especially over here, or at least it's starting to be. It just sucks because I wanted to do something in this area because I've already got a bunch of train tracks over here. But that leads to my house. He just sits patiently waiting. I don't remember him looking that way. Maybe he's just getting older and older looking until he dies and passes away from not being loved. Oh, that'd be horrible if that happened. Well, I'm gonna give him some food. Come on, over here. No, we're not gonna play fetch right now. I'm gonna get you inside. Come on. You know what you need to be doing. I'm gonna try to get you over here and turn you some. That wasn't really what I had in mind. Okay, that's much nicer. They've got their own little doghouse bed things. Oh my god. And a little wash area. I made a short showing this off just after I finished it. And I thought it looked really, really, really nice. There's like a tree, little like dog toy, dog bone. Little drawer that you can get you over here to get stuff that you need. Like an area for the dogs to eat, kinda just hang out and sleep. Ventilation, window, dog showering area. And they can just kind of sit inside when there's storms. And what I thought about doing is actually putting up some sort of trap door. I'm not really sure what to put down because I can't really use like actual doors. But I kind of do want to use actual doors. That about possibly that possibly. That doesn't look too bad because I can still see in the door when if it was that I wouldn't be able to. You can still go in, open that up, and you can let dogs out without any issue. And have a little area. If you want to just hang out with the dogs, there's enough room. You could probably sit like a seat here. Maybe bring in a small little table and just sit here. Got the house, it's my house. Okay. So we gotta find an area to do this at. Right here, there's 2 train tracks, but then the freeway kind of goes through here. Bunch of fields. Then the tracks turn and they go into being 3 tracks. Everything's gonna be electric. I just haven't added the electric wiring. Some giant models of sunflowers. And then there's Sunflower Airport. That's like the big international airport. With a whole entire on-ramp where the freeway kind of just breaks down and curls around. Down below is like a little part of it's by the same people that would be running the City of Winslow Zoo. And there's a little nature area where you can walk around and kind of see the nature wildlife below everything. And there's some shops and stuff. It's almost like a theme park that also has a lot of nature mixed in. Kind of like they do with like Disney World, where there's like park theme attractions and stuff and nature, but it's all below everything. You can see just how high up everything is there. I need to work on this some more. At some point. I thought about even just putting the tracks down below so I can make it all spooky, but then I'm like, I don't really think that's gonna work. There's tracks that go that way, and they kind of turn, and part of the freeway goes over them or something. There's like a hood forward locomotive. I know it's not like the best scaling, but it works. It works. All of my equipment all my equipment along the railroad, that's like signals, railroad crossing stuff as much as I can with the railroad crossings. Some of the bridges are all done with as much pillow as I can because it looks ultra modern. And I like the look a lot. Like, a lot. I love it a lot. I think this two-head signal, turned out really, really nicely. I mean, you kind of look at it from over here. No. From over here. Like right over here. And it just looks so nice. And I'm very proud of myself for making it. I'll probably copy and paste it because I think it's small enough that I can. This goes into suburb because it's a developing city and suburbs and sprawling towns everywhere. It's a big metropolitan area. That's like a railroad crossing. I tried my hardest. So over here, there's like a Chesapeake and Ohio, couple of Chesapeake and Ohio locomotives. But over here is a bunch of town and city that's growing. That's gonna go to a little industry of some sort. I'm not sure what. There's already some buildings. There's this weird place. Which is like a grocery store. There's plenty of room for it to be a small little grocery store that sells like healthy foods. So what I thought about doing in like 3 hours, I have to get ready so I can be to the bus stop at 6 in the morning. So I can go to Quest Labs and get my hormone blood work done. They had a test for my testosterone and estrogen, and because they had to make some changes to my hormones, they're testing my creatine. So where can I put these chain checks? That's the question. And I'm not sure where. I just want to make a whole new section of chain jacks somewhere. Honestly, I thought about just having it go through here. I'd have just a spare track that comes off. And I can just have the 3 tracks be just the main 3 tracks. Oh yeah. I'm not sure if I'm gonna still have a station here. I thought about it just being a little platform station with a walkway that goes over across. Which is probably where it's gonna be, and that will be turned down. Over on the side of the area, there'll be like 2 big old buildings. But I'm not really sure, because this is gonna go right through the middle of town. There's already tracks here, but they're gonna go to like a little industry of some sort. There's not enough room for what I wanted to do. So we're gonna go with having some track that splits here. But the thing is, I'm gonna have to make sure I split the track right. So what I plan on doing is having, that's fine, some diorite right so we can kind of scale this out some. Because I think this is going to be a nice area to do all this. I've already got a Halloween-esque building there. So then I can just add my train track that I'm trying to add. We're just going to figure out how to spookify the train track some. Then it'll run along just a little bit before it turns back into the regular train track that you see over there. Let's get out our light gray concrete. That sort of goes across all 3 train tracks, and oof, oof, oof. So the thing is, if I angle it this way, then it's just going to go off that way. So if I shorten this by 4, There's still enough of a platform for people to kind of stand on. So then we're gonna put out our road a little bit further. Let's just say it goes straight for now. So I think about here is where we're gonna start spookifying the train tracks up a little. And there'll be a switch here for trains to kind of go around that part of the tracks area, so they don't have to worry about running into that area necessarily. Now what I really like is the Canson planks. But the warped wood also looks really, really nice. I think I'm gonna go with the warped wood. Then we gotta find some sort of ballast. We can also go through the train tracks. Take some. I think mangrove flakes would work. That makes it look like there's a little bit more dynamics into it. So then those tracks go here. I might shorten this just a little bit more. Hudsonville, that's ice cream. Then those tracks return. And they go at an angle across this. And then they go over here. I'll have to flatten all that down. And then it'll go into the area that I wanted to make. I could also add I'm gonna work on more of that later. But I have to get some rest. So we're gonna exit out and end the live.